So this is problem number 2, test chapter 3. So you can see chapter 3 here, problem number 2. Okay, anytime it says absolute max min, I look at the problem and I see an interval. So the first thing I want to do is I want to draw my T-bar chart, because I don't care what's happening outside of 0. I don't care what's happening outside of 2. I'm only interested in what's happening in between. So this kind of puts my constraint on me from the get-go. Then I want to see, do I have any hills or valleys? That means, do I have a maximum or do I have a minimum in between? Could be. So now I'm going to find critical numbers. I'm going to take the derivative, which is going to be 15x to the 4th minus 9x, and I'm going to set that equal to 0, squared, thank you. I'm being in trouble otherwise. Squared, and 15x to the 4th minus 9x squared, set that equal to 0 to get my critical numbers. And so there is a greatest common factor of 3 between 15 and 9 and an x squared. And that's going to leave me with a 5x squared minus 3. Well, I get 3x squared equals 0. X is 0, so that's easy peasy. But that's my endpoint of my interval, so I don't end up with anything here. And then I get 5x squared minus 3 equals 0. 5x squared equals 3. X squared equals 3/5. And I'm hoping that since this is the chapter 3 test, we have grown a little bit mathematically, that we can handle radicals. So now we take the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus or minus. So that x is plus or minus the square root of 3/5. Now minus the square root of 3/5 needn't apply for the job. Mainly because he is smaller than 0. So he's not in the interval. However, the square root of 3/5 is. I don't know what the square root of 3/5 is. I can leave it as the square root of 3/5, or I could change it to a decimal. And I didn't dig out my calculator. If I did, it's buried under paper. So I'm going to pull out my phone. And then I've got my graph and calc up. So now I'm start doing the calculation. I want to know what f of 0 is. That's easy. That's just 0. And then f of 2. I'm going to take the easy way out first. This is 3 times 2 to the 5th minus 3 times 2 cubed. So 3 times, whoops, that was interesting. 3 times 2 to the 5th minus 3 times 2 cubed. Oh, I hate this. That's a math print. Now you know why I operate with my calculator in Classic. 3 times 2 to the 5th. And then now I need to go down. And this is going to be minus 3 times 2 to the 3 times 2 to the 3. So it doesn't like that. Let's see now. 72. Hopefully that's right. Now we take the big bad guy, f of the square root of 3/5 would be 3 times the square root of 3/5 to the 5th minus 3 times the square root of 3/5 cube. Again, I'd probably change that to a decimal. You'll get a decent approximation, I'm sure. I'm going to come up, pull this down. And insert. And this is going to be parentheses, the square root of 3 divide 5. Delete. And insert the square root of 3 divide 5. And this thing I need my calculator or my iPad. I should have my iPad out to the, and this is going to be 5th. And this is to the 3. So I think we now have it. So I hope so. Negative 3.35. So we have a maximum of 72 and a minimum of negative 3.35, I hope.
On the key you got negative 0.5. Yeah, it's negative 0.5. I don't know if that's right, but on the key. Yeah, it's right. I think it's
Probably the key is right, is my guess.
I also put it in like anything wrong, so.
You got the same calculator. Okay, so 3 times the square root of 3 divide 5 to the 5th minus 3 times the square root of 3 divide 5 to the 3. Yep.
Yep.
I hate math print. Okay, we got it. Now I have my same calculator out. And that's it. That's an absolute maximum. No number line, no increasing, decreasing, flat out numbers. That's all you're looking for.